What did y'all get me into last session?
All right, so
Uh,
if you would have reviewed the video, you would have known.
funny
So
I have
story.
not
You're
had
dead.
time.
so
Raphael may have started a riot,
Oh, of
but
course
it's
he
start
did.
okay.
riot.
It's okay because in this riot, not every guard in the city is trying to kill us like the last one.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yet, yes. Okay, so basically, the party took what they have found against the cult and the church, and they took it to the general. The general decided that it was enough information to take to the uh, townspeople to try to get them started turning against the church and the cult. Um, the that was most of the session. The session ended with them at the actual um, towns meeting, and the people were getting riled up against the cult. It was very successful, and possible cultists and members of the church were trying to discreetly get away from the town meeting.
Ooh. Well, it sounds like I missed a good session.
It was a pretty good
Have we
session.
smited any of them
Wasn't a
yet?
horrible one.
It's never horrible with this group.
What the hell? There we go.
I guess they don't call us circle jerk madness for nothing.
Right.
Nope.
So the day is currently the 10th of Gloomshroud, 3024.
Oh, whoops.
The 11th of Gloomshroud starts the week of Ecstasy. That's kind of why you guys were on such a tight schedule of getting everything going. So, the cultists are slowly backing away from the crowd. Once you get on the very fringes of it, they turn and start running off in different directions. Right now, the party is up on the stage. The general is just finishing his speech. What is everybody doing?
Um,
Whatever the group's doing is what I'm doing.
I think me and Raphael kind of took off, right?
The speech just finished and everyone's like heading towards the church. Is that what's going on?
The cultists are getting out of the crowd and turning and running once they're on the fringes, and members of the
Oh,
church are doing the same thing.
wait,
oh,
didn't we incite people to like say get them or
yeah,
something
yeah.
like
That's
that?
Raphael's plan
Yeah.
to yell "seize them" and point his rapier and use obviously like probably prestidigitation to amplify his voice and make it boom.
Hmm.
Nothing bad can happen.
Right. So I guess my question is that out of the ones that are, I'll make a perception check and everything else like that. What do any of them look like in a higher standing, or do they all just kind of look like grunts? I would say that I am probably closer to. Is there a map or anything like that? I would assume it's probably like the crowd, and then there's like wherever the guy is standing on, and then we are just kind of like scattered throughout. Correct?
No, so right now, think of like a big town center, and
Mm-hmm.
there's a stage, like a large stage that's up against one of the buildings, and you just have
Okay.
this massive crowd in front of you because it was a mandatory town meeting. Um,
Were we all
think so,
standing
kind of,
on?
kind of think like uh, Athens way back when, where everybody had to attend all of the town meetings. So like
Okay.
everybody in the city is in
Damn.
front of this stage, and you guys are stage back standing behind the general.
Okay.
And like you just see a bunch of different movement. Roll a perception check for me.
Okay. Let's see. 18.
18.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, you see different church members dressed differently for whatever their ranking within the church hierarchy is, and you see some people that are trying to get away that are possibly cultists. Some are definitely dressed better than others, but you can't exactly pinpoint who's the most important based on how they're dressed. Like, and
Okay.
when it's like there are a bunch of different streets and alleyways that lead into this big town center.
Okay.
And as cultists get to the edge of the crowd, they're just kind of taking off in every direction, trying to get out of the situation as quickly as possible.
I guess then. Whoops. Oh shit. Sorry, I accidentally swiped a little too fast on that one. Do you
Would we be able to block the doors since we were near the
doors?
back?
Doors. There's no doors.
Or, yeah, I guess.
Alleyways, you mean?
Yeah, any alleyways?
Are any of them running past east?
No.
Oh.
The closest road to you guys is like 20 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, Raphael's gonna yell seize them. Just to try and stir the crowd up even more.
Yeah, I was gonna say Brady was also going to kind of like flourish it a little bit. And then correct me if I'm wrong, Garrett. So is it like when I'm holding the blood of Vodrain that I get this oh wait, hold on. I think I was reading it incorrectly. Oh no, I was reading it incorrectly. For some reason I thought I was getting like a bonus in like charisma if I was like holding it, but I think I just read it wrong. Yeah. Okay, never mind. I was just gonna
They are like they're more they are when you're holding the blood of Vodrain,
Mhm.
you're more trusting.
Yeah, that's what it said, but I wasn't sure if that also. But it also says in the next sentence that I deal or whatever it is to undead and stuff like that. So I wasn't sure if that was just like a description or if it was just more. I get like a little bit of an advantage if I'm trying to be like persuasive, I guess.
Yeah, so like if you're trying to be persuasive, you're naturally more trustworthy.
Okay.
So like I would say like you can get a potential advantage based on what the situation is, or you might just get a straight plus something to your roll. It kind of depends on the situation.
Okay.
Um, yeah, the advantage against undead and fiends is separate.
Okay. Well, what I was thinking was again to kind of egg on the crowd. I know that they're drunk as shit, but kind of waving my hand like to the crowd and to address them all and say something along the lines of do not let these like fiends escape. These are the ones that have added to your plight. Um, you know, basically like you need to enact justice upon these people.
Okay, yeah, so roll persuasion with advantage because the crowd's already highly into everything that's being said.
Cool. 18.
18.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so between you saying this and somebody yelling seize them, mass chaos erupts within the crowd. You just hear, "You're a cultist." "No, I'm not. You're the cultist." And like this is just like the entire city erupts like this, and everybody starts trying to grab everybody. Every man for themselves. Nobody really knows who's in the cult and who's not.
probably should have been a little bit more clear.
He's just standing there
I
watching.
pointed.
That's very vague.
I don't feel like pointing was gonna work in this situation. We just have an incited crowd.
We just
Perfect.
we just incited a huge fucking riot. That's all we did.
So you know the fucking musical Les Miserables?
Yeah.
Raphael is just playing the "Do You Hear the People Sing" song and
Oh
just
my
like amplifying
God.
his
Jesus.
voice. He's bringing this up to a fever pitch
Bro is bringing
And-
this up to 1,000 right now.
and loving it. Like Raphael wants to start marching towards the church.
Oh, go ahead, Raphael.
In this chaos, our actual cult what is the general thinking about all of this? Is he trying to calm down, or not calm down the crowd per se, but is he trying to direct the
Raphael,
attention to certain? No, the general guy.
or has he lost control?
Or yeah, exactly. Or did he kind of lose control and we just kind of added that?
I mean,
To the fire.
at this point, he's just kind of like standing there dumbfounded, trying to say, "Hey, everybody, calm down. We need to go about this the right way. We need to figure out who are cultists, who are not cultists."
And nobody's listening, I would assume.
What did you roll on your persuasion, Brady?
I rolled an 18.
An 18.
Yeah.
Oh, you roll good for once in your life.
I know. It's only because I get
It's
advantage.
because she didn't have a weapon in her hand.
Right.
Let's say this is a disadvantage. Yeah. So yeah, the general has just lost all control at this point. Nobody in the crowd is listening to him anymore. The roar of the fighting is growing.
So Raphael is going to use fly to fly above the crowd, singing and trying to direct everyone towards the church.
Roll persuasion check with disadvantage.
With disadvantage?
Yes, disadvantage because they're at a fever pitch.
Oh man,
Oh.
only 25 with disadvantage.
Well, since you were rolling against Britty's rule, it is successful. The crowd starts to kind of simmer down, and like it's like a scene out of anime, you know, where like people are like mid punched, some people are like fists on the other person's face, and everything just kind of like stops, and everything like comes down to a murmur, and they're just kind of looking at you, and they're like, yeah, that makes sense. That's a good place to start. And everybody like just starts walking towards the church.
Just awkwardly, they're like picking up each other, dusting each other off. They're like, all right, let's go. This shit's funny.
Sure, not in
Just picture a
Ireland.
bunch of people just apologizing right now, like, sorry, the song really got to me.
Hey man, I think I just got a little heated. My bad.
God, Raphael looks like the biggest douche in the world, just floating above the crowd, just leading them on.
No. You just he never stops looking like that. So is the yeah. So we're all going to the church. Is everyone lighting pitchforks and torches, or?
Say we burned the church down.
Well, we got to make sure that no like actual innocent civilians are inside first.
If they're in the church, they're not innocent. If they're in the
Exactly.
temple
Other
district,
people
they're
don't
not
I
lost
mean,
innocent.
I true. However, there is also the fact that there are people that are quote unquote brainwashed and don't deserve to die. It's not like they did anything.
Look, Brittany, if they run, they're cultists. If they're hiding, they're smart cultists.
Shit,
And if
okay.
they don't run and aren't hiding, they're very well disciplined cultists.
Brazier is going to light some torches on fire and hand them to some members and say, "Burn the church."
This has gone so
Face.
much better than what I thought it was going to.
We are just actually inciting the worst violence upon like everybody in this town.
Do I need to make a roll for that?
Yeet
Uh,
is just walking around. Yeet is just slowly like strolling through the town, just swing like not at anybody swinging his axe, but just swinging his axe, humming "Let's Start a Riot."
just here, roll a persuasion check with advantage.
Oh yeah. Probably. Oh, I have 0 in persuasion. This is gonna go great.
Click it.
I did.
Oh, that's just slow.
14 on the first one. Let's see. Okay, 14.
All right, yeah. So you start handing out torches. I don't. Where are you getting these torches from?
I mean, I could just be picking up pieces of wood off the ground and lighting them on fire.
Just
Where did
the
pieces of wood
trash.
come from?
I mean, he is a dragonborn. Like it's really easy for him to make things into torches.
I can just grab any piece of wood that's laying around or pull it off a building.
Okay, so we'll say like you
Like,
just
here
start
you go.
taking it off buildings, and like you take like the lamp posts that they light every night. You start taking those off the building and like handing them out to people, and you're like, burn the church. And people start buying, like grabbing the torches from you, just yelling, "Burn the church!"
He's like, one for you, one for you. All right, little kid, one for you.
Remember, first we have to bar the
Torches,
doors
get your
so
torches
no one
here.
can escape.
Torches here, get your torches.
Oh, wait.
Can I start selling them for money?
Uh,
Get your torches here.
Torches.
I'm
Hey.
I'm gonna say no on that one.
Damn it. Only 1 silver piece.
1 silver. Shit, these expensive.
Just remember, it's not a war crime the first time. Bar the doors. All right. Anyways, back on track. Okay, so
Okay.
the crowd is headed towards the church. Are you guys following?
Hell yeah, we are.
What is the
Oh,
general
yeah.
doing?
The general is just kind of like standing there shaking his head because this is not what he intended to happen at all. He intended just to like his plan was to get the information out there and to get everybody rallied and then slowly do a takeover.
That's too long. We don't have the time for that.
Yeah, we don't have time. The festival is tomorrow. We gotta
Where's
do this
the
now.
glory in a
Well,
well
the
thought out
Well,
plan
the
to
festival-
take over?
his
Festival ain't
idea
happening now.
his
Lucio is going to
idea
ask the general if he's going to try to arrest us after this day.
so his
We'll
idea
be gone.
was that the festival wouldn't happen if everybody turned against the church.
Well, festival ain't happening now. Shit.
Yeah, right.
Um.
So I would say the general kind of looks at you, Mushu, and he's like, "Well, considering that I'm the one that hired you, probably not."
Question though. So, if this is the plan to burn down the church, from what I remember of the map of the catacombs, it doesn't connect to anything inside of the church, correct? It's not like, it'll be all for naught if we just burn down the church building.
Just to be sure there's not any secret passages, let's just burn every building near the church too.
Let's just burn down the town. Let's just do it.
Sometimes sacrifices have to be made.
Well, could we go to the other exits of?
I'm trying to
Do you know how
remember.
many exits? There's a lot of exits. There's no way we can cover all of them.
I feel like even if we did split up in groups, I feel like that would just be not a good idea because we
Yeah.
don't
Those
know
are the
what the
ones
fuck is gonna
closest
happen.
to-
Look, I'm going to be honest here. Looking at the prophecy, the last line is titled, "The last shall come in fire and ruin." If the town has to burn down, it's prophetic.
If Raphael is saying this out loud right now, Brittany is gonna give hard side eye and be like, I think that's going a little too far, man. But
He's just over there giving him an awkward thumbs up.
let's see. I gotta look through my notes.
I hate you guys so much.
Well,
No, you don't. You love us.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, by the way, the swinging that he's been doing this whole time with his axe is like the umbrella in all those corny old show to me.
So from what I'm reading in my notes currently, there is a separate entrance to the catacombs from the church. Um, strange passages and tunnels that appear to be sealed after the church was built. So not necessarily, but from what I remember of the escapades within the catacombs, I have a good feeling that those are some escape routes.
Let's just put a big
Okay.
fire at the mouth of the catacomb. It'll make it really hard to breathe oxygen in there.
How about we burn every building with an entrance to the catacombs?
That could be all built. That could be a lot of buildings.
Sucks to suck.
Um, oops. Let's see. Da-da. Oh, it's only for 1 minute. Never mind. Shit. I'm trying to see what I. Yeah, no, I have no good spells to kind of do any of that. Yeah, I'm just gonna go along with the crowd and see what happens. If anyone wants to split up and go to the catacombs,
Mushu's going to take to the sky and see if he can see if there's any of the cultists going into any other buildings.
We should definitely try and stay together though. Oh,
yeah, you're probably right. I have a feeling we got a battle coming up. I can feel it in my bones.
Knowing the
Give away the
DM,
DM
we
saying
most
that we have,
definitely have a
Hmm.
battle coming up.
Oh, yeah, probably. All right. Brittany is going to follow along with the crowd. Also trying to. She's also going to keep a watch to see if like any
Oh,
people
chill.
tried to kind of like run off, too, just in case.
Okay.
So.
then we'll be at the rear of the crowd, making sure no one's trying to sneak out the back.
I think at this point, Kaz has just sighed and given up on any of this making any sense to him, and he is now going to summon Bastian, the good time ruiner, and ride him towards the church.
The cultists are coming. The cultists are coming. Nobody else got Paul Revere vibes from that?
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
A little bit.
All right.
Forgot that's what you.
So
named your
everybody
bull.
is headed towards the church.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we all want good seats.
Someone bring the popcorn.
Okay. So you guys are all like kind of like intermixed into the crowd wherever you want to be. Once you get to the church, what are you doing?
What's going on out there? Are they setting up defenses? Is it abandoned and deserted?
There's like a spooky aura coming out of it.
Roll a perception check.
All right.
I'm
Yeah.
okay at perception.
Now,
Ooh.
chill out.
I got a 16.
I got 18.
We'll go sit in your chair.
I got 15.
Ben.
Okay.
Yeah. 15.
It is.
I got a 19.
It's surprisingly quiet.
Mm.
Even with all these enraged
Well, I
townspeople
meant
around?
like at the actual church itself. Like you have the enraged townspeople, outside yelling towards the church, telling the cultists to come out.
But nothing happening.
I guess Raphael will yell it is time to tear down their false idols. and put the deceivers to the sword. As one does.
What if, what if we were to check out like the inside of the church?
You really want to go in there and we just told the townspeople to light the motherfucker on fire?
No, we go in there. We go in
Fine.
there.
People have fire resistance.
No, we go in there. Make sure there aren't any people that are already trying to like
Make
tear the
sure
church.
they're not holding the orphans hostage.
Yes, that's probably a good idea.
And then that way, nobody that isn't the fucking cult gets hurt.
Small orphans are just cultists who haven't grown up yet.
They just haven't been brainwashed enough. Oh boy.
That's what we should do.
Are there any windows to this church?
I mean, they are, but they're kind of like high up. So were you here when I described what the church looks like?
I don't think so.
So basically, on the outside, it looks like a Catholic cathedral, like a large medieval Catholic cathedral. It's like you have the large, like you have stairs going up to large wooden doors. There are no windows right there at base level. All the windows are higher up.
Are they big enough that someone can get through the windows if said window was broken?
I mean, yeah.
So, how long of a walk was it from the one place to the church?
Depends on
Probably
that. Who
like
wants to
10
go through the
minutes,
window?
10, 15 minutes.
Okay. So um I'm thinking Yeet walk up and kick the doors open to the church.
Okay. I mean, what do you think I was going to argue?
Well, I can take somebody through one of the windows.
Well, if you won't fly up there and see what's going on first.
Let's make a grand entrance. Just bust through the window and go in.
Fair enough. I like
Yeet
it.
will volunteer as tribute.
With some pizzazz, we are going
The
to
red
into
coats are coming. The red coats are coming. All right, who
The
wants to go
circle
through the
jerk's
window with
coming.
me?
The circle jerk's coming.
Oh.
You know, I didn't think that whole sentence through before I said it. Not
No,
gonna
you
lie.
didn't. True
Who's
Yeet fashion.
who's going through the window with me?
Okay, Yeet'll get the party started.
All right, come. I'm gonna take Yeet up. We're gonna bust through the window.
Oh God. Well,
Oh boy.
what spells do I know?
I, I,
I
I,
feel like I
Else
want
can
to do
come
a
through the
grand
door.
entrance.
I think the rest of us will line up at the door, and then when we hear the glass shatter, I'll just like throw open the door, and then the rest of the party rushes in.
That works. I don't have anything good to like shove the door open, so yeah.
I'm going to put flame around my quarterstaff.
Okay.
Oh, Cameron.
So,
Over
Mushu,
here now.
roll a strength check
Grab your
for me.
tablet. You're going to bed.
Huh, 8.
8. So, as you go to you unfurl your wings and you start going to fly and you try to pick Yeet up, you're just not successful in actually getting him off of the ground.
What if Yeet jumps?
Fucking fat
Can
ass.
Yeet jump on his back like a piggyback ride?
No, the point is that you're too freaking fat for him.
I have an idea.
hear it.
Let me just see how long it lasts.
Light as a feather, stiff as a board.
Okay. Um, Mushu, get ready to lift him. Raphael's going to cast Reduce on Yeet. It lasts 1 minute.
So at 59 seconds, throw me through the window.
All right.
You can set. Is there like windowsills?
Probably not, seeing as it looks like a Catholic cathedral.
I mean, if there's like a footing for him, you could just send him up there, and then as soon as he grows big, he can charge through.
I'm willing to try.
I don't know. DM, is this plan acceptable?
Only one way to find out.
Yeah, well, I casted the spell, so it looks like we're going.
All right.
Come on, bomb enough.
All right.
Everybody, let's go.
Yeet becomes small. What are you doing?
And I'm gonna pick him up, and we're going up.
All right. What's the rest of the party doing?
We're prepared by the door and waiting to hear the sound of broken glass, and then we're gonna rush in.
All right.
Oh, let's face it, they're all laughing their asses off.
Mushu and Yeet, roll a perception check.
Perception?
Perception.
Let me find it.
Perception.
13.
Hey, 13.
All right. So as Mushu picks up Yeet and he flies up to this window, you do see that there is a little ledge. It's about 3 inches wide. It's not very much. What are you doing?
3 inches? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
That's about
Not a
average.
very. That's not a very big ledge.
Some
I'll set
say
you
it's
on it
even
if you
too
want.
big.
Some would say that's above average.
It's not the size that matters, damn it.
The motion of the wings?
Honestly, some
That's
say
right.
it's too
That's
big.
right.
Uh,
All right.
I'm gonna be. Hey, do I have to roll anything to make sure I know how to count to a minute? Because I'm keeping track of that now.
No. I would say that you have
Is
a
it?
pretty fair idea.
Oh, that's not like a intelligence save.
No. So
Well, I'm sure you can feel when the spell's wearing off.
right. So once you get up there, do you see this ledge? What are you guys doing?
I'm going
Yeet
to.
on the
How
ledge.
big am I?
What's the spell say?
It reduces their creature class by 1 size.
So
I'm small or medium. No,
you
because you said I was medium, so I am small. Would I be able to fit on the ledge?
Oh yeah,
Like,
reduces them by 1 size, and they have a disadvantage on strength checks for the time when they're reduced.
Well, I can
could
set
I
you
do
on the
like?
ledge, or I
Could
can
I
throw you
like?
right around the minute mark.
Hypothetical here. If I were to stand tiptoed on the ledge and kind of like arms in the, because cathedrals usually have like set in windows,
right.
so that 3 inches would probably go all the way around the window safely to say, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like put my arms up there and kind of just hold myself there until we're ready.
So you're too small to reach from like side to side on this window.
Oh,
In
it's that
your
big. Okay.
in your small form. Yeah, like they're pretty large windows here because like these are like some of the main lights coming into the cathedral.
All right. Fuck it. You can just throw me at like 55 seconds, and I'll just come tumbling down.
I'll throw your ass in. Hopefully, I got good aim.
Smokes the wall right next to the window, cartoon style. Just
All right. Roll a strength check, Mushu.
Fuck. 7.
7.
What color was your parachute?
what color? What color is the ground?
So he goes to he goes to throw Yeet. Yeet. Roll a, let's say, acrobatics check.
Acrobatics. Oof.
Nat 1.
Oh, I have advantage on acrobatics.
Let's see, get my damage dice ready here.
17 with advantage.
17 with advantage. Wait, why do you have advantage? You shouldn't.
Um,
What's your advantage here?
well, my first roll was, in fact, to end a grappled condition. So, correct, I don't have advantage. But my first roll was 17, so. I just saw the A and forgot why I had it. But I do. My first roll was a 17. You can check the log.
Nope, I see it. You're good. All right. So like, he kind of throws you, and he throws you short, and you like you're still in your small form. You grab the ledge. Roll a strength check to see if you can pull yourself up. Remember, it's at disadvantage because you're still in small
Is
form.
that a save or just a standard?
Nope, just a standard strength check. You're just trying to lift yourself up off the edge. Disadvantage.
Come on, baby. 19.
Yeah, so you're able to successfully pull yourself up on the edge. And as you're pulling yourself up, your feet touch, like you have like you swing your right foot up and it gets the corner of the edge and you come back to your regular size. Roll a dexterity save.
Oh my gosh.
I have advantage unless I'm incapacitated.
And this is how
That
you
doesn't
die.
matter. 16.
Yeah, so you're actually able to successfully pull yourself up onto the ledge and like put your hands out.
I want to point this out now. I'm not going to be able to hit the broadside of a barn later. I'm using all my rolls now.
How
They're
do
trying to
you
get in the building.
how
I
do
think
you
Brita jinxed me. I got her rolls for the day.
how do you plan on getting into the window?
Is there like a thick window?
Yeah.
Mushu's
And
gonna
you said,
dive bomb it and push ye through it.
yeah, that works for me at this point.
I like it.
All right, Mushu,
Does that count on strike?
roll to hit.
Wait, can I raise first?
Which one is that? I'm
No,
been a
you
while.
cannot rage right now because like this is just all like bang 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 happening. Roll a
Can I be mad
unarmed.
that I just fell? Can I be mad at him? That's a fair assessment. He
Roll
dropped me, and I
a
finally get up, and now I'm mad.
roll a uh unarmed strike, a melee strike.
Attack. Let me see.
It'd be hilarious if he rolls like a nat 1. You just sidesteps and he smacks the window. Like, why?
Where the hell is my unarmed?
Actions.
Should be under attacks.
Under attack.
Yeah, it should be unarmed, or yeah, unarmed strike.
I do not have an unarmed strike under
Yeah,
attack.
yeah, you do. Actions all unarmed strike. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, okay. Fuck. 9.
Well, lucky for you, it's a window. So you hit Yeet. Yeet, you take 5 points of damage, and you both come tumbling in through the window. Like, so when you come through, like there is like the upper balcony, but you are still falling. So you each take an additional 6 points of damage.
Well, when we
Starting
hear
off
the
strong.
glass shatter, and I'm assuming Geets scream as they get launched in the window, we're gonna open the door and rush
Son
in.
of a bitch!
Hopefully,
Red,
Yeet's fat ass don't fall on nobody.
Hey, you're lighter than me, so you'll land on me. and you have wings.
Oh, and if you're wondering what the crowd's doing, remember my last orders for them to tear down the false idols and destroy the deceivers. So whatever they think is accomplishing that, I'm sure they're doing it.
All right. So you guys come into the church and you run headlong straight in. Uh, as you get to like the center of the worship area, all of a sudden you're surrounded by cultists. Uh, Mushu and Yeet. As you come crashing into the window, there's a half a second where they're not prepared, but then you have cultists around you as well. Uh,
How many cultists would you say are surrounding us?
there's about 60.
Holy
Was that
Okay.
shit.
1-6
So
or
roughly
six
even odd.
zero?
Yeah, so there's about
Was that
60 down below with you guys, and then there's about 30 surrounding Yeet and Mushu. And I need one of the people on the ground to roll a perception check for me.
Got it.
22.
22.
All right.
So you see what like initially seems to be about 60 cultists surrounding you, and then you see more pouring out of the doors that go behind stage.
We also have the whole town behind us, so I'm not worried about the numbers of cultists. Maybe.
Perhaps.
I mean, I'll just tell I'll shout out to the party that they're coming out. They're coming from behind the stage.
Do we have a map
You do
for
not have
this
a map
map?
right now. Not yet.
He said no map for you.
So while all the cultists
What are the
have-
cultists doing, by the way? Are they just surrounding us like menacingly?
Yes, as of this second.
so as the cultists are surrounding everybody, Ben would like to grab the like neck part of his trench coat and just throw it off, revealing two other kobolds because I have three kobolds in a trench coat.
Son of a bitch.
What?
What the hell?
This whole time. I was hoping you'd be like revealing he's absolutely yoked.
And then Ben proceeds to start kind of chuckling and laughing.
Which one?
Ben,
Okay. Raphael is going to ignore that, and he is going to let the cultists know that they have a chance to repent or face,
Mushu,
or face the God's justice.
Ben just chuckles and laughs and says, "You can try and get them to repent as all you wish. However, they are loyal to me alone."
What?
Oh, is he the deceiver? Is Ben the bad guy?
3 kobolds in a trench coat is the big boss in this one?
What the fuck?
They are loyal. Yeah, we have been setting you up for this specific moment.
Okay. Well, did any of them take Raphael up on his offer to repent?
Roll a persuasion check with disadvantage.
I'm so scared of that disadvantage. It's gonna be 7. Oh, I rolled 2 4s, so that's 17.
No, they did not take you up on your offer.
Man, what a high DC.
Is there like in this section of cultists, is there like any like torches, braziers, or anything like that?
Just like what are on the different columns along the way, giving off light.
Okay, so is there one that's like surrounded by cultists?
I mean, not in particular.
How far would you say the closest one to Raphael is?
Probably about 10 feet at this point.
We really screwed the pooch on this one, guys.
I have an idea, and it is a terrible idea, and I'm not asking permission.
I'm in. I'm in.
What's the idea?
Raphael is going to cast pyrotechnics at this flame source about 10 feet away from him. And now there's a thick black smoke cloud within a 20-foot radius that moves around corners, and everything in the smoke is heavily obscured, and it lasts for 1 minute or until a strong wind disperses it.
Okay.
What is happening?
This is
Like I
not-
said, I wasn't asking permission.
Ben, you got anything else you're gonna say?
Where did I find that?
I see it. Fucking where'd it go?
Fucking rookies.
I
I
had this
thought
whole
Raphael and Ben got along. Damn.
I had this like whole like evil villain speech rolled up on fucking ChatGPT, and I fucking closed it on accident, lost the whole speech.
It should still be
You're
saved in your
fired.
conversations. We can wait. I can go get some water because
Yeah,
I
we're
feel like
just we'll
on
take
that
a
session.
we'll take a quick break and come back to it.
I think everyone in the party is ready for Raphael to die. I
Not
could be
wrong.
wrong, but I don't think I am.
You're not. So, we're backing up a little bit since Ben screwed the pooch. So Ben just took his trench coat off just for flavor. Ben will give his speech, and then Raphael will make the lights go out. Ben, go ahead.
You stand before me, trembling, clinging to the last shreds of hope. How amusing. Did you really believe you could stop us? That your defiance, your so called courage would make any difference? You are insects scurrying beneath our heels, screaming of righteousness as if it holds any weight. But the truth is, power is all that matters, and now we have it all. Your world is already mine, your heroes broken, your resistance crushed. Everything you love will burn. But I am not without mercy. Bow before me, swear fealty, and perhaps I will let you live. To serve, to kneel, to witness the glorious empire I shall build upon the ashes of your failures. But if you choose to fight, if you still cling to that foolish dream of victory, then by all means struggle. Scream. We do enjoy. Yeah, we do enjoy watching her die.
All right.
Can I roll a perception check to see if I heard that or noticed any of this? Because that seems like a big, dramatic. I would be projecting it. So like possibly.
Yeah, I would say go ahead. Just based on where, like, it is, like,
That's 20.
I would say he probably walked up to the stage while he's saying this. Um,
So
so yeah, you hear it.
can just shits and giggles here. I have ability with my weapon to voice manipulation. Can I just make my voice very loud and just say, "Who let the fucking lizard out"?
Um, are you trying to intimidate him?
Yes.
Yeah, because, like, it doesn't. The voice manipulation doesn't make your voice louder. It makes it distorted.
Okay. I didn't read all the way through it. I just saw the voice manipulation. Yes, I am. This is an attempt to intimidate him.
By the way, Raphael's response to that speech is going to be, "You liar! You were 3 kobolds in a trench coat," and charge him.
Are you
After
making...
turning the lights out. Yes, I am turning the lights out.
Okay.
No take backsies.
Okay, so here we go. You guys ready for this? It's gonna be a lot of fun. So,
Yeah, okay.
Is it?
Rocks fall, we all die.
All right, we're gonna go through this cinematically.
Hmm.
Okay, Ben up on the stage finishes his speech and he starts laughing menacingly like he's already won and you just don't know it yet. As this happens, all of a sudden, an explosion happens and a bunch of dark smoke fills the room, obscuring vision of pretty much everything. Up above, Yeet uses his axe, Twilight Reaver, and he yells out at Ben. His voice comes out all twisted and distorted, and it feels like it's from another world. And as this happens, a bright white flash envelops the room, and you are no longer in the church.
What?
Well, that's disappointing.
When this bright white flash happens, you all close your eyes to look away from it because it's absolutely blinding. Britty,
Oh no.
when you open your eyes, you see a familiar sight that you wish to never see again. You're in the training hall in the myth of extinction, but something's not right. The walls are not stone, but they're pulsing flesh, veins of red hot iron running like molten metal through its living structure. The air smells of sweat, blood, and burned skin, the scent of endless training and punishment. Lining the walls are countless weapons, polished to perfection and arranged in chilling uniformity. Each one is identical. No personalization, no uniqueness, just tools meant to kill. At the end of the hall, towering like judges of your fate, stand your parents. Their faces unreadable, their gazes empty, yet seething with disappointment. Behind them, shadowed figures watch in silence. Dozens, hundreds faceless warriors, just like you, yet devoid of will. They are the ones who obeyed. They are what you are supposed to be. At this time, you notice a metal collar is clamped around your neck, searing against your flesh like a branding iron. Heavy chains snake down your arms and your legs, binding you, but leaving you just enough freedom to fight. It's a familiar weight, one that you thought you left behind. Your mother steps forward, her voice hollow, emotionless. It is time, Britty. The final test. You will fight, you will obey, you will serve. A wooden training sword is placed in your hands. It's light, too light. Your fire, your rage, all gone. You're not allowed to have them here. Your father steps closer, looming over you like a storm cloud. You have no need for power, no need for thought. You will be a weapon, nothing more. The chains tighten and the room tilts. Raphael, when you open
Hey, bro.
your eyes, you find yourself standing center stage on a grand theater's balcony, high above an endless sea of faceless spectators. The air is thick with the scent of old parchment, sweat, and candle wax, the familiar ambiance of taverns, concert halls, and royal courts where you have performed. But something is wrong. The wooden floor beneath your boots creaks and warps, splintering as if rotting from within. The curtains around the stage are torn and threadbare, hanging in ragged strips. The once gilded chandeliers above flicker, casting shadows that stretch unnaturally long, as if watching you. The crowd is silent. Thousands of people sit in the rows before you, their faces blurred and shifting. Kings, queens, common folk, soldiers, adventurers. Those who once cheered your name, those he once fought for, they stare, waiting. And then the silence breaks. A lone voice rings out, a deep, mocking laughter. Then another. Then another. Suddenly, the entire audience erupts into jeering, howling laughter, a deafening cacophony of mockery and scorn. Their applause has turned to derision, their admiration into ridicule. The banners that once bore your name burn, curling into ash, leaving only words scrawled in blood across the ruined theater. The fraud, the jester knight, the azure fool. Your name is not praised, it's spat. The leader grows louder, rolling like thunder, distorting reality itself. The once grand theater shifts and crumbles, revealing fragments of your past, failed battles, missed opportunities, moments of doubt. A duel lost that should have been won, a mission abandoned before completion, a promise made but never kept. And at the center of it all, standing before him, is yourself, but not as a hero, as a failure. Britty. As you stand there, the chains tightening around you, the room tilting, faceless warriors step forward, one by one, mirrors of yourself, reflections of what you could have done, but had you never ran. They move in unison, perfectly timed, striking as one. But you don't feel
Be right
fear,
back.
you don't feel anger, you don't feel anything. She swings at you and you deflect. You move with perfect form but no will. Every step is preordained, your actions dictated, controlled. Your thoughts grow distant, cold. Your hands move before you command them. This is what your parents wanted, a machine, an unthinking killer. With every strike, your heartbeat slows. With every step, the drains grow heavier. With every breath, you forget a little bit more of who you were. The fight never ends. There is no victory, no defeat, just endless, mindless repetition. Your mother watches. Your father nods in approval. The faceless warriors stare, hollow and obedient. The walls close in, the ceiling lowers, the room tightens around you. You're being forged, shaped into something that isn't Brady anymore. More warriors step up, start swinging. What are you doing?
I don't even know how to how to process all of that. um so you said like a bunch of just more of them just came up and just started swinging.
Yeah, they're they look like clones of yourself coming up. You're like you're fighting yourself.
Okay. I guess I would just start swinging back.
You just start fighting back.
Yeah.
One by one, you cut yourself down. And as the last of your will starts to slip away, thinking that this is what it is, this is what your future holds, your mother speaks once more. The final test is here. Prove your loyalty, kill the failure. At the center of the hall, on his knees, hands bound, is Briarlair, your brother. Alive, breathing, but looking at you with the same acceptance he had in that arena years ago. The sword in your hand becomes heavier. It is no longer wooden. It is cold steel, weighted with familiarity. You look down and you see yourself holding the blood of Vodrain. Your father's voice rumbles through the air. Absolute. You know what happens if you refuse. The faceless warriors stand motionless, waiting for you to join them. The chains tighten. The walls close in. Everything slows. This is it. This is what you feared. The moment you lose yourself. What are you doing?
I feel as though she does slightly lose herself, like in this moment. You know, everything her parents had like brought her up to be, this mindless faith, mindless warrior essentially, who feels nothing, just follows orders. Um, you know, I feel like she is just about to do it, but then she looks at like her young brother just one last, right before she swings, essentially. And then she like falters. And then I feel like she kind of like wills herself to not do this, if that makes sense.
So Brady walks up to her brother slowly, looking at him, pretty much completely broken. Pulls up the sword to bring it down. And right as her arm goes to flick down, it moves like a half inch, maybe an inch, and she stops. She faltered. She doesn't know why she faltered, but she faltered. She hears her parents yelling at her, "Finish the job. Do it, and you could be with us." What are you doing?
She listens to them. She acknowledges them. They're right. This is what she this is what I need to do. But then she just keeps looking at him, and then just like very slowly memories of like him just doing something kinder, because that was an emotion that was stamped up pretty quickly. And then, but then she just doesn't know why she latches onto that feeling, jealousy, because he is so young and naive. And then, that type of thing. But then she reverts back to kind of like holding the blood of Odrain over him, and then just kind of still falters. And then she's just kind of like really fighting back at this moment in time. She doesn't really want to do it. She doesn't know why, but she knows that she does not want to do this in any way, shape, or form.
So Brittany falters the first time. Her parents start yelling at her to finish the job. She brings the sword back again, and as she comes to bring it forward to kill her brother because she knows what needs to be done, in this moment she doesn't remember who she truly is. She wants to be with her parents. She wants to follow her parents' commands. Maybe, just maybe, if she kills her brother here, these chains will be taken off of her. And as she falters a second time, a unfamiliar, warm feeling comes up through Brady. And she falters a second time, and she doesn't know what this feeling is anymore. But she still latches onto it, and all of these memories start coming flooding back. Everything that she had been through, from killing her brother to all of her current adventures. And as this happens, your parents' faces start to distort, and the walls start to bleed shadows down, and the warriors start flickering. What are you doing?
I feel like now she's just kind of like watch everything, and then she kind of like raises up, to not really hovering over her brother anymore, but she kind of like wants to face her parents in a way. Um, just because now she knows this can't be real. Anything else like that. I almost feel like she wants to start like hacking away at these like chains that are on her, or maybe even she might. No, I think that was probably what she might be doing next.
All right, make a strength throw for me.
Cool.
Make it with advantage for me.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll take that one. Dirty
Here's
20.
30, 20. Yeah,
Yeah.
so you manage to break one chain off. You break it off of your let's say your left arm, and as you do this, all of your memories come back in all at one time. You're not a machine. You're not a weapon. You fight for yourself, for your own choices. And with that, the hall all of a sudden shatters into infinite fragments. The chains shatter with it. Your brother goes away in a puff of smoke. Your parents, all the shadows, everything just disappears. And you hear your dad's voice once you start to lose consciousness. You could have been perfect. Raphael,
Ooh.
your reflection steps forward from the shifting mirage of failures, a twisted, exaggerated version of yourself. Your Azure armor is rusted and cracked, hanging loosely off of his frame like a child's costume. His rapier is bent, dull, and useless. His lute is warped, strings frayed, emitting a discordant, grating noise with every movement. And your face is painted like a jester, like a fool. You hear your own voice spilling from the reflection's mouth, but twisted, dripping with venomous glee. Look at you, the great Raphael, the chosen hero, the shining knight. What a joke you've become. The reflection bows with exaggerated flair, spreading its arms wide as the crowd howls in amusement. Did you really think they would follow you forever? That your legend would last? Oh, no, no, no. Heroes don't last, Raphael. But fools? Fools are remembered forever. The reflection steps forward, grinning. And what are you really? What are you doing?
So I'm standing there, and this is like a reflection in a mirror, or how's it working?
It's a physical manifestation of yourself.
That I'm looking at.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Raphael is probably going to shove his rapier through the chest of the other Raphael with and like glaring up at where this voice is coming from.
As you draw your rapier, it bends and breaks, becoming completely useless in your grip.
Okay, well, there goes that plan. So I'm just standing there with my broken rapier, and there's this reflection mocking me.
Yep, your reflection is mocking you. The entire crowd that's out in front of you is laughing at you, mocking you about how your sword broke and how you're useless. You're nothing.
Well, Raphael is trying to think if he'd try to use magic or just go straight to fucking fisticuffs. you know, he might at this point mock the reflection of himself as a poor imitation of perfection
So you
by
start.
casting vicious mockery on the reflection of himself. Basically, chastising the voice he heard and saying, "Is this the best you could do to mock me?"
So, as you cast Vicious Mockery,
Let me guess, I hit myself.
it comes out as garbled nonsense, met with cruel laughter.
Okay, now
However,
it's fisticuffs time.
however, because you are mocking yourself, the message still breaks through. And everything collapses, shattering into a million shards around you. And as you lose consciousness, you hear your own voice whisper, "Who you are is not a story. It is not a name. It is yours."
Great, another voice I have to fucking kill.
Mushu, if you're trying to talk, you're muted.
I know it logged me out for inactivity. I was just trying not to interrupt.
Ah, that sounds good. Alright, so Mushu, you open your eyes and you find yourself running. The world around you is a blur of shadowed trees, twisted and clawing at the sky like skeletal fingers. The ground shifts beneath your feet, sometimes solid, sometimes sinking, always forcing you forward. Your lungs burn, your muscles ache, but you cannot stop, because ahead of you, just barely visible through the swirling mist, are your enemies. The ones who took everything from you. They are always just out of reach. The moment you gain ground, they slip further away. Footsteps echo in your ears, taunting, but no matter how fast you run, no matter how many shortcuts you take, they remain ahead of you. You should be faster, you should be stronger, you should catch them, but you never do. And then you see them. At the top of a jagged, uneven hill, your enemies finally stop running. They turn to face you, weapons drawn, smirking, as if they had let you catch up. This is it. This is the moment. You lunge forward, blade in hand, but something is wrong. Your sword is weightless. Your strikes pass through them like smoke. Your body feels like air. No matter how hard you swing, you can't connect. They are real. You are not. Your enemies don't even flinch. They laugh as they cut through you like you aren't there. Hit your arms, your chest, your legs. None of it matters. You cannot be hurt. You cannot be touched. Because you were already dead. Kazaroth. You open your eyes to find yourself standing in the middle of your old home, but it is not as you remember it. The walls, once warm and filled with laughter, are charred black, the wood splintering and reeking of burnt flesh. The air is thick with smoke, suffocating and heavy. The furniture is reduced to ash, the floorboards beneath you are weak and broken. It is the aftermath of their death. But you are not alone. From the shadows of the ruined home, two figures emerge. Your wife, pale and hollow eyed, her once kind face now etched with sorrow and betrayal. Your child, smaller than you remembered, standing beside her, clutched a charred toy, staring at you with cold, accusing eyes. They are not burned, not broken, but wrong. There's no warmth in their faces, no love, only pain and judgment. Your wife's lips part, her voice a whisper, hoarse and cracked. You let us die. Mushu. A gust of cold wind sweeps through the battlefield, and suddenly you see yourself. Your own lifeless body sprawled out in the dirt, unfinished, unfulfilled. The revelation hits like a blade to the gut. You aren't fighting because you still have a chance. You're fighting because you never had one. You died before you could finish what you started, and now you are nothing but a specter, cursed to watch your enemies continue to walk free. Your vengeance will never be complete. Your purpose was stolen from you. Your entire existence was meaningless. Your enemies step over your corpse and continue walking, laughing, fading into the fog. What are you doing?
Following after my enemies.
You're following after your enemies? Okay. As you start walking after your enemies, you keep hearing whispers in your ear. You should have been faster. You should have been stronger. You were never going to finish what you started. Now you're just another forgotten spirit chasing ghosts who don't even know your name. The fog thickens, the world fades, and you're left with a single choice. What are you doing?
Oh, yep.
Still following.
You're just following them, you're not doing anything else.
Still trying to attack.
Your blade is still passing through them. As you attack, are you doing anything?
Just trying to attack.
So you're in a fit of rage. You bring your blade back and you swing it down through your enemies as many times as you can until you become physically exhausted. You fall to your knees, lungs aching. Not a single attack was successful. What are you doing?
I'm gonna try to find out where the voices are coming from.
Roll a perception check for me.
13.
13. The voices seem to be coming from everywhere and nowhere all at once.
Well, that's not very helpful. Eh,
As you're.
I, fa-
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I failed.
As you're on your knees, breaking down because you failed to do what you wanted to do most in your life, your enemies just start laughing at you and start walking away. What are you doing?
I'm gonna turn and walk away.
You're just gonna turn and walk away?
Yep.
Okay. As you turn your back and start walking away from your enemies. What exactly is your purpose?
Try to move on.
You're trying to move on, like you're trying to like find a way out of the situation you're in.
Nope, move on to be with my family that is long gone.
So Mushu's will is just completely broken.
Yes.
All right. Kazaroth,
Yes.
your child's voice follows, small and broken. You were supposed to save us. The walls of the house begin to close in, warping and shifting, the shadows stretching on naturally. The flickering embers along the edge of the home ignite again. But this time, they do not spread. They wait. Wait for you to speak. Waiting for you to answer. Why didn't you save us? His wife asks again, stepping closer. Her feet leave behind no prints in the ash, as if she was never truly there. Your child grips his toy tighter, small hands trembling. Why didn't you come back? Their words cut deeper than any blade, because they are not screaming. They are not angry. They are disappointed. What are you doing?
Kaz is just answering back, saying, I'm sorry. I came back. I was powerless to stop it. There was nothing I could do.
You just hear, and your wife's voice slightly distorted. You should have died instead.
I wish that I could have traded places with you. I would have done it. I would have done it if there was a way to do that.
Your child shakes his head. It doesn't matter. We're still gone.
I know you're gone, and I would do anything to be with you again. But there's nothing I could do to bring you back. There's nothing I could do to stop this.
As you say the first part, the flames flicker brighter and starts to come closer to you. And your wife's face twists in anguish, her eyes darkening with sorrow. Then why do you feel guilty? And then, as you say that there's nothing that you could do to change the past, her face softens. Your child's tears fade. The fire burns itself out. The house dissolves into light, and the last thing you hear is your wife whisper, Live, Kazaroff. Live.
I know. I know that's what you would say. And I know what I have to do now.
Yeet. You good with us for a minute, buddy?
Yeah, I'm good. I just unmuted.
Okay, I just wanted to double check.
Yeah,
So,
no, just wondering.
Yeet, your eyes open to find yourself standing in a field of ruin. The sky is black and endless, a swirling abyss of storm clouds that never move. The air is thick with the scent of blood, the metallic tang clinging to your throat. Beneath you, the ground is soaked in red mud, Bodies strewn out across the battlefield. Bodies you recognize. Your friends. Their weapons lie shattered, their bodies broken, some clutching wounds that still seep with fresh blood. Their eyes, lifeless, hollow, empty, are all staring at him. And in your hands, you grip Dusk Whisper. The axe is dripping, still humming with power, still whispering. You did well, Yeet, but there is still more to kill. Your breath catches in your throat, your hands shake, but your body does not feel like your own. You try to let go of Dusk Whisper, but you can't. The axe pulls at your fingers, fusing to your grip. Its dark metal pulsing with an eerie red glow. The whispers do not stop, growing louder, overlapping into a chorus. More, more, more. Your heart races as you look at the fallen friends, Raphael, Mushu, Britti, Kazaroth, and the others, all lying before you. And then, one of them moves. Raphael, his azure armor cracked and soaked in blood, lifts his head, coughing. His eyes meet yours. There's no anger, no hate, only betrayal. Why, Yeet? His voice is hoarse, weak. We trusted you. Mushu's hand twitches, barely gripping his blade. You said you had it under control. Britti, lying nearby, doesn't speak. She just stares. And then Yeet sees his own reflection in a pool of blood. And the face staring back at him is not his own. It is something twisted, monstrous, eyes glowing like embers, skin darkened by the void, mouth twisted in a feral snarl. This is not Yeet. You are Dusk Whisperer's creature. And you know, in your heart, this was not the first time you lost control. This is who you have become. Fulmar,
Yep.
you open your eyes to find yourself standing in a grand hall, one you have seen many times before in your memories. Your family's ancestral hall, where the names of past warriors, soldiers, and heroes were etched into the stone walls. But something is wrong. The great banners that once bore your family crest hang in tatters, stained with mud, blood, and decay. The once pristine armor of your ancestors, displayed upon their battle stools, is rusted, broken, cast to the floor like discarded scraps. The names of your ancestors, those who served, those who fought with honor, are still carved into the walls, but they are slashed through, defaced, rewritten in scorn. Traitor, disgrace, failure. And in the center of the hall, where your own name should be waiting to be inscribed alongside them, is a gaping void, a scorched and hollowed out section of the stone, the place where your legacy should have been. A heavy silence fills the hall, but you are not alone. From the darkness at the edges of the room, figures step forward. Their faces are worn, their armor dented and old, but their eyes burn with the weight of history. Your ancestors, the ones who fought in wars, the ones who defended their homeland, the ones who served with unwavering duty. And they are not pleased. His great grandfather, a towering warrior in a tarnished breastplate, speaks first. You have failed us, Fulmar. His grandmother, once a knight, steps beside you, her arms crossed in disappointment. You were supposed to bring honor to this family. Instead, you brought shame. More voices rise, each one striking like a blade. You tarnished our name, all that we built undone by your hands. A lifetime of service wasted. You want to speak. You want to deny it. But the more you try, the louder they get, until suddenly they all fall silent. And then you hear it. A single, slow clap. Yeet.
I'm gonna turn towards the sound of the clap.
All right, we'll get back to that in just a second.
All right.
Yeet. Your breath catches in your throat. Your hands shake, but your body does not feel like its own. You try to let go of. Wait, what? I already went through that. Sorry. So Yeet, as you have the realization that this is who you have become, what are you doing?
I'm gonna reach down and grab one of my hand axes with my free hand and attempt to cut my other arm off. Just screaming in pure hatred for
I do
myself
have
and
to
what I've
say,
become.
Yeet should know that's a dream because Raphael would never say he trusted Yeet.
uh, roll
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm still whispered. Go ahead.
roll a attack roll against your own
Um,
AC with disadvantage.
with what? What do I need to equip? Because it's
You said a hand axe,
not.
right? Do you have a hand axe? If you don't have a hand axe, you can't try to chop off your own fucking arm with a hand axe.
Well, I used to have one. I don't know if I still have one. I think I sold them. But at the time, it was Dusk Whisper. I had one.
Well, right, but if you don't have one now, you have your vicious war pick.
This is true.
You can use. I would let you use that. Looks like you have a fuck ton of scimitars for some reason.
When you're in the cave,
Aha. So you
and that's
can.
all we had.
I cast fuck ton of scimitars.
Right. So you can use that. You can use. Looks like you have some battle axes.
Oof,
Vicious war pick. Those are your options.
that's a no.
Uh-oh. What'd you roll? 13.
20 and a 13.
All right. So as you go to chop
Wait,
off your.
wait. At that point, I wouldn't have a shield. I mean, I still failed, but still.
Right. You failed either way. So you go to chop off your own arm, and you just can't quite will yourself to do it. And when the blade comes down on your arm, the blade is dull anyways. You don't even leave a scratch. What are you doing? You still hear Dusk Whisper in your head saying, kill, kill, more.
Well, is there any rolls I could do to try to fight him, fight the axe? And while you answer that, I'm just yelling no,
So
telling him no.
as you yell no, you just hear, then why are they dead, Yeet? Who else will you kill before you finally listen to me?
He just grits his teeth and just thinks nobody as he turns the axe and just lays it on the ground, hand still attached to it, and dives on it.
Like, you're trying to hurt yourself?
Yes,
Alright.
blade up, bow bottom,
Roll an attack roll with advantage.
both are hits.
Roll damage.
Second, oh, Spike Lee. 17.
17. Alright, you take 17 points of damage.
And now the axe's ability, or curse, I guess you could say, with vengeance. Because of how literal magic is, I would assume that I'm now locked in combat with myself.
you just gonna keep hitting yourself over and over?
Yep. If I can't get away from the axe, I'm gonna make sure I can't use the axe anymore.
Roll to hit.
Is this with advantage or no?
Yeah, because you're still throwing yourself down on the axe.
What's my AC without? I gotta take this off real quick. Mhm. I guess I somehow mixed the axe.
Alright, so this is what you're gonna do. You're just gonna literally just keep throwing yourself on the axe till you kill yourself.
Unless there's some kind of skill I can use or save, I could attempt.
I mean, that's completely up to you.
I just don't know what you would want me to roll. Is pretty much the way I'm saying that.
Well, there's not really anything to roll. You have to make decisions.
I mean, I'm trying to fight him mentally, but if I can't win the mental fight, I know I'll win the physical eventually.
So every time you throw yourself on the axe, how are you trying to fight him mentally?
I'm just telling him, no, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. You've taken enough from me already.
Alright. Oh shit.
You can't force me to do this anymore.
Alright. I need you to roll your, because like, so like you throw yourself on the axe and then reject him, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh shit. Fucking shit up here.
Like as I'm getting up, setting myself up for the next one.
Okay. I need you to roll damage 5 times.
From the axe.
Yep. You take 70 points of damage.
Okay.
And as you throw yourself on the axe this last time, it becomes apparent to you that the more you rejected the whispers, the weaker they were becoming. The last time you throw yourself on the axe and you hit yourself, you wound yourself really bad, and you start to lose consciousness. And Dust Whisper finally breaks free from your grasp. And as you lose consciousness, one last whisper lingers in your mind. You can't run from me forever, Geet. Fulmar. You hear
Yep.
the single slow clap. You turn to face it. At the far end of the ruined hall, seated upon a cracked and rotting throne, you see yourself. Not as you are now, but as the version of yourself that failed. His armor is dented and ill-fitting like someone who abandoned his training. His sword is rusted, its edge dull. His eyes are hollow, filled only with emptiness and regret. He leans forward, smirking, resting his chin on his gauntleted fist. Well, well, well. Look who finally showed up. His voice is mocking, but worse than that, it is exhausted. You tried so hard, didn't you? You really thought you could carry the weight of this name? He gests around at the ruined hall. Look at what's left of it, Fulmar. Look at what you did. The floor beneath your feet crack, the walls begin to crumble. The shadows of your ancestors fade, their voices turning away from you, as if you were never worth speaking to at all. Your own reflection laughs bitterly, shaking his head. You were never strong enough, never good enough. You tried to live up to them, but guess what? He leans in, voice like a dagger in the dark. You're the one who ruined everything. What are you doing?
Well, say this to that reflection that I always lived up to the honor I was taught. And I always lived up to the highest ideals of the service that I chose to undertake. And if that was a failure, then there was a failure in my family before me. That's it.
So, as you proclaim that you're still honorable, the hall stops collapsing. It starts to rebuild itself. Where your name was missing before starts to etch back in place. And as you lose consciousness, the last thing you hear is your own voice. Not from the illusion, but from deep inside yourself. I am not done. Drazir, you open your eyes to find yourself standing in the middle of a city you know well, perhaps one that you have traveled through with your companions or even a place you once called home. But something is wrong. The streets are deserted, the air is still, heavy, unnaturally silent. Not even the wind stirs. Buildings stand intact, but they are lifeless, hollow. Every door is open yet empty. Every window dark, void of any movement. There are no people, no voices, no laughter, no footsteps but your own. You call out, but there's no answer. Not even an echo. You are alone. Panic sets in as you begin to search the empty streets, running through abandoned homes, familiar taverns, places where people should be. But there is no one. You find small signs that they were once here. A cloak draped over a chair, a mug of ale half full but long gone cold, footsteps leading nowhere. Your friends were here, but now they are not. A cloak draped over a chair, a mug of ale half full but long gone cold. Footsteps leading nowhere. Your friends were here, but now they are not. And then you see something worse. Mushu, we're coming back to you. You were walking away, trying to regain yourself. What are you doing?
I'm gonna remember the mission that I had and find a way to get back to it.
Are you trying to vow yourself back to your mission?
Yes.
as you remember what your mission was and you vow that no matter what, dead or not, you will find a way to beat your enemies and regain vengeance back on your family. The shadows stretch out longer and come up and clutch you, and you feel life rushing back through your body. As you lose consciousness, the last thing you hear is a whisper in your own voice, distorted but unmistakable. You're running out of time. Jazir, as you turn a corner, you find something chilling. A wall covered in names. Every single person you ever cared for. Your companions, friends, everyone you fought beside and protected. Written in jagged, uneven letters. Some names are crossed out, others faded as if they were never meant to be remembered. And then, at the very bottom, the last name begins carving itself into the stone. Your own. The city begins to shift around you. The buildings start crumbling, not from decay, but as if they were never real to begin with, just fabrications of a world that were meant to fall apart. The streets stretch endlessly, leading nowhere. No matter how far you run, how many roads you take, there is no exit. And then you hear a whisper. Not from a person, not from an enemy, but from the air itself. They are gone because of you. A shape flickers in the distance, the silhouette of a friend. You rush toward it, but the closer you get, the further they fade. Another voice. You weren't strong enough. More shadows appear. Raphael, Mushu, Brady, Yeet, Kazaroth, Fulmar, figures you recognize. But every time you reach out, they dissolve into dust, slipping through fingers like sand. And then the city disappears. Entirely. You find yourself floating in an endless darkness. No city, no ground, no people. Just you. Your breathing grows louder in the absolute silence. Your own heartbeat pounds in your ears. The darkness stretches forever, an infinite void where you will never see another soul again. And then the whispers return. This was always your fate. You were meant to be alone, and now you always will be. The cold sets in, the voices fade, the silence becomes absolute. This is it. This is where you stay. Forever. What are you doing?
So Drazir just starts to meditate, just to focus and remember everyone's name and what they looked like.
Okay. As you meditate, you do this for what seems like hours, maybe days. Every single name that's ever been important to you, every face, are all there. What do you do?
With that, he gets up and starts. He's in complete darkness right now.
Right.
So he puts under here. He would do radiant blaze and basically produce fire from his body.
Any light that you produce is snuffed out before it begins.
So can he just like feel and walk anywhere or make or see any kind of light anywhere?
No, there is no light anywhere. It is a endless void. When you're remembering your friends' faces and their names, what exactly are you trying to do with that?
Just make sure like he doesn't forget them and that he knows that they're real and he can find them. Find somebody.
As you remember that you are not alone and you have built these bonds with these people around you, you see light off in the distance that is seemingly to get larger without you moving. Right as the light gets to you, you lose consciousness. And as you do, you hear, "One day they will all leave, and then will you be strong enough to go on?" With that, everybody in the party wakes up at the same time. And the world around you feels wrong. It's like a half formed dream that shifts at the edges of your vision. The air is thick, oppressive, carries a scent that is both familiar and unsettling. The mingling of places they have been and things they fear. A place that shouldn't exist. The sky is a vast, swirling abyss, neither night nor day, but an ever-turning mass of dark purple and black clouds streaked with veins of sickly green lightning that pulse on naturally. The land beneath you feels both solid and intangible, as if reality itself struggles to maintain its shape. That's where we're going to end tonight.
Wow.
Damn.
Can I at least roll my intimidation against Ben to see if it would have worked?
Sure, you held on to that the entire time.
Yeah,
Somebody had to.
Ridiculous.
I thought that was a really good one.
I'm gonna poke the kobolds with my rapier.
Ah, it's only 17.
That'd be a charisma save. I want to roll a save against it. 15 would have worked.
Didn't even let me try before we get fucking drugged again.
Who said
Quit
anything about?
crying.
Who said you got
I
drugged?
know. Tomato. I know this is rich coming from me, but your powers are bullshit.
Not my fault y'all believed the no right at the very start.
Look, Raphael is going to have to work out the fact that someone made him engage in self reflection. That's not okay. The only type of reflection he likes is in the mirror.
So, would you guys, what do you think about the personal nightmares everybody went through?
I think the DM's a fucking dick.
What the fuck?
Right?
Those were insane.
I like how everyone's like, hey, here's trouble. And Raphael's like, you're not pretty anymore.
You know, I'm actually mad at you about how quickly you fucking got it. Like, that was ridiculous.
Well, look, Raphael refused to see himself like that. He's like, oh, so you just create this image of me to mock me.
Yeah, so if you would have tried to command, inspire, or persuade, your words would have been garbled nonsense. And same thing if you tried to play music. Your lute would have betrayed you, the notes twisted into a mocking, screeching dirge.
Look, he was immediately like, look, the only way I can win this crowd back is self-deprecating humor.
So, out of curiosity, what was the right answer for mine?
So you had to reject Whisper's control, which you did, but you kind of went, I'm gonna just go into a forever box way about it. I want you to know, I rolled a d12. You were close to fucking murking yourself.
What do you
So,
mean?
uh, like, how many times you threw yourself on the blade before Dusk Whisper finally let its grasp done on you? I rolled a d12 to see how many times you took damage.
I was wondering why you said five.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could have done that. You could have accepted that he has power, but it does not own you. Or you could have simply chosen your own path, like a vow to protect rather than destroy.
And they tried that, didn't work.
So, yeah. You and Mushu were the two closest to having to reroll.
But if rejecting him worked, I said I was rejecting him from the start. Why didn't that work?
Because you had to do it multiple times.
What was
If I
mine?
just sat down and kept saying no and throwing like a childish fit, it would have worked.
Pretty much.
Hmm.
Let's see. Jazir.
I'm gonna go apologize to Bo and tell him he had a good idea.
So Jazir, it was remember that you're not alone. Refuse to let fear dictate your fate, or to call out to your friends.
Okay.
I was prepared for mine to go a little bit longer. I cleared it faster than I thought you were going to let me.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt too.
Well, right, because so
I get like my mind was like accepting guilt, but I feel like really he just needed to wake up and like my entire thought was actually that he needed to like realize like he's not really dealing with their own like it's his own guilt that
right.
he's dealing with. And I expected like you to get to a point where like his wife or kid would tell him that he should die, like like kill himself now.
That was actually in there.
Seppuku.
But we didn't get there, and like I was expecting him to do that, and that's when he would wake up and realize like this isn't really my wife. Like she would, as much as I feel shitty about everything, I know that she wouldn't have told me that.
Right,
I
but the thing is, that wasn't an answer to get out of it. You literally had two options. You give into it and you re-roll a character, or you accept the truth and you break free.
okay. I do want to point out how everyone's like, I do need to get over my guilt. I am not alone anymore. And Raphael's like, I am hot popular, and no one can take that away from me.
He wakes up, I'm sexy, and I know it.
He just immediately like casts a minor illusion of himself and like is a mirror and just checks. He's like, okay, I'm good. I was worried there for a second.
Garrett, question about my armor.
Yeah.
Is now he's ready to wear it.
Okay.
It says it's minus my like whatever my wild shape is -5 for my druid level. My druid level is 4, and at level 4 druid, I can wear 1/2 challenge. I can already wild shape into 1.5 challenge rating. So,
1 second. I believe that I did that because that's how wild shape is. I had a reason for doing it that way. Where's wild shape at?
at level 4 is when I can wear half, like 1.5 challenge
Second, a
rating,
second.
or one half. So -5 that would be less than that. That's where it gets confusing. Because -5 would be, I mean, if I'm at 4 and I can already wear half, but -5 would be literally less than 1.
Hey, since I won the intimidation check on that, does that mean when we wake up, he just kind of scurries off?
No.
It was a hypothetical check.
Still won it, bitch. You can't
I'm
hit
not-
me, and you're scared of me.
Raphael's heartbroken. Ben was the only person in the party he could trust.
Sorry, fucking the name of the other two kobolds is twice as funny.
Oh,
Oh yeah, what
Trusting
you
him
got?
that anybody he gets along with is clearly a plug.
Is the other two kobolds' names me and Dover?
No, we got Yi and Duped.
Ye been
You've been
duped.
duped.
oh,
Oh, okay. So the reason that I did it that way, that's why it says starting at level 6. So like at level 6 you could go to CR1, right? But then at level 7 you would be able to wild shape into anything that's at a CR2. While traditionally wild shape is only 1 no matter what.
So we get a level up for fighting our own demons, right?
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. I get it now.
I mean, that would make sense, Zach.
It's been a
Shit,
while
I
since
think.
we had a level up.
I'll think about it.
Shit. Shit, I think I
I
still have
figure
a
we'll get
level up
it
that I
after.
hadn't done yet.
I
Wait,
figure
let
we'll
me
get
phrase
it
this.
after
Let
we
me put
kill
this in
Ben.
perspective for all you assholes here. It's been a level since you got, or been a while since you guys have leveled up. I got one last session to catch up.
Congratulations.
Just as a reminder,
Yeah, I think I need to be a level up because it was put out in the group chat. Supposed to be a level 10.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know why you're not at level 10, but you should be. Everybody else is.
I think he missed
Yeah,
a session or two.
I did miss that session, and I seen it come across the group chat. I just, oh, I forgot all about it.
All right, so March 18th, we will not be having a session.
Is that
As
supposed to be our next one?
yeah, that's supposed to be our next one. I will not be in town. I'll be out on vacation.
What?
So we can
Gonna be down in
either
Louisiana eating crawfish with me.
hell yeah. So
I'm down for the first.
we can either do the 25th and then the first, or we could just completely skip a week and come back on the first. Having
With everything going on with us right now and having to catch up with a lot of shit, I'm down for the first.
Yeah.
everybody else
Yeah,
alright
the
with that?
first works for me.
All right.
Whatever works.
So we will be back at it on the first.